There's another issue with AI, which is anytime you have a digital network, it's super low friction. And okay, I'm going to get slightly technical here. Okay, sorry
Sure.
about that, but normally, like in the world, if things take a little bit of effort to do, then whoever each person has their own little place, and because there's some effort for them to connect to somebody else, they accrue a little island of whatever they do, and it's a little insulated from other people because it takes effort for the other people to get to them. Like if you I don't know, if you set up a store, nobody else is in exactly the same store, and so you have that location. But online, everything is so smooth and fluid that basically you don't have that kind of local advantage anymore. And so what happens is whoever owns the network, whoever's at the center, is sort of a winner take all, and everybody else is ultimately serving that person. So there's this weird way that digital efficiency creates super centralization, and a lot of the people who think that digital stuff will democratize this or that are
Yeah.
kind of correct but also kind of incorrect, because you end up with these super multi-billionaires or now maybe trillionaires, and just a small number of them.
Yeah.
You have this weird way that AI isn't just, it's not just some neutral entity out there for you to use. It comes from particular individuals like, Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But there are very few of them, or the Chinese Communist Party with TikTok,
Yeah.
and the problem we have with it is you think there's some neutral thing that's on your side, but it's actually not quite true. And that really, really bothers me. And that's another side
Yeah.
effect of pretending it's like this special entity
It.
when it's really just made of you and your friends
Yeah.
just put together in a way that makes things more efficient.
Is there anything again? I'm gonna follow you the whole hour. Is there anything to use your word democratizing? Is there anything about AI? And I want to advance and cover some other topics here. But is there anything about AI that you in fact find to be democratizing?
uh, yeah, sure. Like, if you want to get information about something, the AI models, if you use them well and you're a little patient and try a few different things and don't just take the first answer, they'll help you get stuff that you couldn't get before, or at least not without a much, much more work. So it's great, like, I don't know, like you want to find, I talked about getting a business. You want to find an available space that might not be on the market yet. An
Yeah.
AI model might be able to give you an early warning on it.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
it for other people too, but you know, not everybody will think of asking the same question. So you might really get ahead of the game using an AI model for all kinds of things you want to do. And I
Yeah.
I think that's great. I
Yeah.
really do. But
When
in
you.
the big picture, we have to be careful. Also, look, man, just don't fall in love with your AI program. Don't think it's your therapist. Don't think it's your advisor for life. Don't think it's come alive and that it's God. I get emails like every day from people who say, I'm the special person who made my AI come alive as God, and now, instead of whatever, like, don't do that. Don't
Yeah.
do that. Oh
No,
my
that's
God.
scary. That's scary. That's scary.
Don't
Um.
just don't do it. It's
Yeah.
don't do it.
When you encounter, I'm fascinated by this. When you encounter these students at these colleges and universities, on these campuses that you appear all the time, and they pose those questions to you, and they look you in the eye. I never thought about it quite this way, but when you said it, it was arresting for me, Jaron. When students look you in the eye in these presentations and say to you, "Why am I here? I mean, where is this going? What's this all about?" They have already figured out that if AI continues at the rapid pace of development that we see nowadays, that they will be, you know, irrelevant, and that's a scary thing. I mean, we're telling kids all the time, go to college, get an education. Education is your passport to the future. Education is the great equalizer. I could do this all day long. We know these lines and adages that we've heard for time eternal, and yet now we're at a point where students are literally asking Jaron in classrooms, "Why am I even here? What is this?" That's a little
Yeah.
scary, man. What do you say to them?
Well, there's a worse question like than that, which is, if AI is going to take over everything, why did my parents have me?
Wow,
that's a
wow,
really
wow,
depressing
wow.
question, and I keep on hearing that one from like teenagers. And on the fallacy that AI is really a thing by itself, it's just an amalgam of people. But since we keep on selling it that way, what are they supposed to think? That's what they hear from
Right.
the elites, is that it's like this new creature, this new entity, this new, I don't know, the super intelligence is what it's called, that's on the scene. And it's wrong. It's really bad. And in Silicon Valley itself, you run it. Okay, so I'll be at like some dinner party in Silicon Valley, and some guy will say it's unethical to have a human baby because it's just taking our attention away from the more important thing, which is building AI, and that's the only thing that matters. So, okay, look,
Wait. Hold on. Stop.
yeah, yeah.
Are you telling me they actually talk that way in Silicon Valley?
Oh yeah. Then in my beloved nerd
Gee
community, you hear that all the
whiz.
time. Come to one of our dinner parties, and that's what
No,
you'll
I'm
hear.
not coming. Thank you for the invite, but I'm not. If hey Jared, if that's the discourse, I ain't showing up, man. But thank you for the invitation.
Okay, look, but the thing is, I decoded it. Okay, these are all young men. In AI companies, almost everyone is too young to have had kids. There's hardly anybody over 40 anywhere, hardly anybody over 30.
Right.
They're almost all young men. Uh, and let's face it, there's a thing that happens with young men where they hook up with a lady. The lady brings up this idea of, hey, maybe we'll have kids someday. And then the young man is looking for excuses to get out of that. And this might just be the latest one to a degree. All right, to a degree. So, so like, I don't want to overstate this because I think that's part of what's going on. But
Yeah.
yeah, that is what you hear. And like when somebody else who's out there who isn't maybe part of the technical elite or in Silicon Valley and they hear that kind of stuff and it's out there online all over the place. How do you think that makes a young person feel?
Sure.
You know?
I raised this issue earlier. Let me circle back to that because this is getting really scary for me. I hope this conversation turns at some point where I'm a little less scared. We'll see. We got another 35 minutes to go here. But so we were talking about this in studio during the last break. So what happens? Given that it's an amalgam, it's an aggregation of everything that humans have created, AI that is. What happens when it runs out of data, or put another way, when we run out of data to feed it? What does it start feeding on?
Fake data. It
Ah,
starts it starts feeding on fake data, and fake data is never neutral. Fake data always has a political, societal,
mm-hmm,
economic bias. Like
mm-hmm,
that is the reality. So, yep, that what happens is things start getting phony and fake,
mm.
and that's where we are.
Yeah. I mentioned earlier, and I want to just ask this now. I mentioned a number of your books. Again, Jaron is a rock star, computer scientist, author, musician, founding father of virtual reality. We'll get to virtual reality a little bit later in this conversation. I'm fascinated to hear later what he makes of what he sort of created and invented and the way it's blown up. Everybody does VR these days. But his books include "You Are Not a Gadget," "Who Owns the Future," "Dawn of the New Everything," "Encounters with Reality and Virtual Reality." 10 arguments for deleting your social media accounts right now. With regard to that last text, and you can go deeper if you so choose. But regard to that last text, is there anything you argue when that book came out about why we should delete our social media accounts right now that you feel differently about today?
Oh God, I wish I felt differently because the thing is everything on Netflix. And I'm like, well, if you were forced to watch that in school, you must have done something very bad. But anyway, the question is, did it do any good? And the answer is not, maybe a little for some people. This stuff is genuinely addictive. It's like you can write a book about gambling addiction. It'll help a few people and it's worth it. But addiction is addiction. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's a part of our nature that we are vulnerable to it, and so it's a hard tide to fight. Hey,
Yeah.
can I tell you something else about AI that it's a bit of a science thing, but I just think it's important
Hold
that
that, hey,
people.
Jaron, hold that thought. Yes, you can. The answer to your question is yes, you can. When I come forward, I'm looking at my clock here, and it wouldn't be fair to let you start and cut you off in 20 seconds. So yes, Jaron Lanier is going to tell me something else about AI. What is that something else? Stay tuned. He'll say that, share that rather in a moment here. And Donald Trump just recently signed an order harnessing federal resources for what he terms an AI boom. I want to ask Jaron, speaking of politics, how he sees what Donald Trump is doing with regard to AI and technology writ large. It seems that every other day, all the Silicon Valley people are at the White House, some other party, and so there's obviously a relationship, and Trump's a part of this himself, certainly with his Bitcoin stuff. So we'll talk about the politics of this as well. Delighted to be in conversation with Jaron Lanier. He'll tell us something about AI when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
What's your quarrel with the world? You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Black U.S. Representative Lauren Underwood toured the Broadview Ice Center in Illinois, calling conditions terrible.
The way that immigrants and U.S. citizens have been treated here is unacceptable, and it doesn't make us more safe.
She says staffing at Chicago area ICE facilities will triple by January amid stepped-up enforcement. Pennsylvania will become the 28th state to ban hair discrimination as Governor Josh Shapiro signs the Crown Act. The law protects styles like braids, locks, and twists in schools and workplaces, a measure championed by Speaker Joanna McClinton and Representative Latasha Mays. And Christian Combs says his father, Sean Diddy Combs, could be home for the holidays despite a 2028 release date. Diddy is serving 50 months for a prostitution-related charge. However, the White House denies rumors of a Trump pardon. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Interesting game at Crypto.com Arena tonight in downtown LA. The Lakers and Clippers meet up for the first time this season. The outlook for both teams at the start of the season is very different. At 12-4, the Lakers have the third best record in the Western Conference, despite not having LeBron for the first 14 games. The Clippers have the fourth worst record in the West at 5-12. They were 2-7 while Kawhi Leonard They are one of the NBA surprise teams. 8 o'clock tip-off. Top 5 women's college basketball teams in this week's top 25 poll: UConn, South Carolina, 6-0 UCLA, Texas, and LSU. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know? The United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time. Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717. 7.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody death, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement. Close friend or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on autopsy, then click on request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
He's a paradigm pioneer and the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
You are indeed. I'm glad about it. We continue our conversation with the influential computer scientist, author, musician, founding father of virtual reality, Jaron Lanier, best-selling author of a number of books, You Are Not a Gadget, Who Owns the Future, Dawn of the New Everything, 10 arguments for deleting your social media accounts right now. Just an amazing guy. I love tapping into his intellect every now and again, just to see what he's thinking, if nothing else. So you said a moment ago you were going to tell me something else about AI. You didn't forget it all.
I am.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
So I know how the stuff works on the inside, and the way it works is kind of strangely simple. You just keep track of what orders of words are more common, and over like a very large number of words, like thousands and thousands or even millions of words. So it's not like too simplistic, but it's basically just word order. And out of just putting in enough documents, you get out this effect of AI. But here's the amazing thing about it. Why does it work? Like, why should it be that if you just keep track of word order and then you look at somebody's input, somebody's prompt, and you look at that word order and you match it up with other word order, this thing comes out that looks like an answer that's useful? How is that possible? Well, the math is actually not that complicated, so it's not there. What it is language itself has built into it this amazing property. Language is this incredible thing that we really don't understand. Language comes from Africa hundreds of thousands of years ago. It's like probably mankind's greatest invention, it was, and like, instead of like, what should happen is that when this started to work, all the funding should have gone into like the language departments at universities and the humanities, because like, what is this thing? We just discovered it's more amazing than we knew. We just discovered there's this huge mystery in it. But instead it goes to the people who just make the little algorithms that exploit it. And there's something really out of balance about that. And I just have to say that because it seems to me like, from a science point of view, the most important fact of the whole field of AI is this weird way that we're ignoring the actual science question, which is what the hell is language and how does it work and how did people come up with it so long ago? That's the amazing thing. The algorithms are not really all that much. I mean, it's cool. I'm glad to work on them. It's great. But that's just like this little tiny thing at the end of the day. It's like
Yeah.
if the Earth spends billions of years creating these amazing gems and then somebody comes in and digs them out, that digging out is cool, but you should pay attention to the Earth that put all those billions of years.
No, I get it.
You know, humanity
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Africa did the real invention here. What is it? We don't even understand it.
Yep. To your point
I
now.
have to say that.
No, I'm glad you said it because it takes me right where I want to go. You're pushing me in the right direction. I followed your work obviously, and I've noted that you know, over a long period of time now. I mean, this goes back to our first conversation many years ago. You have argued and continue to argue persuasively, in fact, for a more humanist approach to AI. And what I take from your work is that you think we're asking the wrong question. The question is not what can AI do. The question is, what can AI do for us? The question is how you flip that frame. Can you flip the frame?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, if you ask what can AI do, AI is just a bunch of statistics. So there's like, honestly, especially since the way we think about AI is whether it can feel human whenever it does something. It's like a weird thing. It's like, how can I put this? The whole history of science is saying what matters is something solid, not whether you fooled somebody. Like, if you have some medicine that makes somebody feel better psychologically, we're more interested in medicine that really stands up to tests, where we can say for sure this thing really works after we test it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important. If some groups are left out of that testing, they're really screwed over. Like, that's why that matters. That's why science matters, why it has to be done well. With AI, all of a sudden we've turned science upside down and we've said, hey, what matters is if it feels like something to you. So in a way, we're saying, like, if we fool you, that's science. It's exactly the opposite of what science ever was before. And that, oh my God, that drives me crazy.
Yeah. So, so Donald Trump, I mentioned this earlier. So,
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, you're laughing already. I ain't got my question out yet, and Jaron's already laughing.
Yeah, okay.
So we were talking earlier. About the kinds of conversations that he overhears in Silicon Valley. And I don't know, I don't know what's happening there, but I do know that these guys are always in the White House these days. And I don't know what those conversations are like either when they get around Donald Trump. What I do know is that yesterday, Donald Trump signed an executive order. He loves executive orders, of course. Signed one that creates what he's calling the Genesis mission, which the Trump administration describes as one of the nation's largest marshaling of federal scientific resources. He argues that the federal government's scientific data and computing power will help feed the AI boom, and they're doing what they can to aid and abet that under this program called the Genesis Mission. Now, there's a lot there. I'm not even sure I know what any of that means. I just read it. What I'm curious about, though, Jaron, is how you see, how you process, through what lens are you looking at Donald Trump and the way that he and all his friends in Silicon Valley are sort of, coalescing and corralling.
Oh gosh. I have complicated feelings.
I want to hear it.
Okay, look, first of all, the Trump administration's done incredible damage to science in the United States and really in the world by undoing. I was at a party at Stanford a while ago, and people studying cancer in kids have been losing their funding, and
everywhere, yeah.
why? What is the purpose of that? What does anybody gain when we do that? It might sound like a bit of money if you look at it by itself, but compared to other money that we spend on things, it's like almost nothing. It's just pocket change, and like, why? Term. It's just a way of framing some software. It's not really a thing by itself. So, like, I always tell people in science, whatever you do right now, call it AI. Like, if you're studying stem cells, you're studying stem cells with AI. Like, just remarket yourself to be part of the AI thing, because that's what people want to fund. And so in that sense, Like maybe it's a way of getting some support into science, and you can call anything AI. I know people have music careers who are saying like, I'm doing AI with my music and it helps them. Great, like what you find what works. So in that sense it could be really good.
Yeah.
It's not like AI is underfunded. I mean, I'm sorry, like what's going on right now is it's getting absolute top priority in every sense.
No.
We're making I mean, that there's no lack of funding for
Nope.
AI. Like that is not a problem.
No, to your point, Trump signs this order harnessing federal resources for this AI boom, and then Amazon announces on the same day that they're going to spend up to $50 billion on AI infrastructure for the U.S. government. So again, Trump and all his cronies are going full speed ahead on all things AI. He is the founding father of VR. We'll talk about virtual reality and what he thinks of what he has done, what he has created, and the way we're processing it and using it all these years later. We'll talk about virtual reality when we come forward with Jaron Lanier on Tavis Smiley.
Interrogating and unpacking.
That's what we do around here.
You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
All I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. We want to speak directly to our listeners in Altadena and all across Southern California. Recently, we invited Southern California Edison to join a town hall so fire survivors could ask questions and get clear information about the Altadena Eaton fire and this so-called settlement fund. Weeks before the event, the law firm originally connected to the program withdrew, and we provided SCE updated materials confirming those changes. But despite that, SCE later stated publicly and privately that they were pulling out of the town hall because plaintiffs' attorneys were participating. That was not accurate, and SCE knew that it was not accurate. But when shown documentation that disproved their claim, SCE ignored it and declined to correct the record. At KBLA Talk 1580, trust is not an option. It is the foundation of our work and witness. It is the promise that we make to you. And so we will not move forward with any partnership that misrepresents the facts or undermines the credibility that we have built in love and service to this beloved community. Our commitment remains with the good people of Altadena. We will continue providing independent, verified information to support your recovery without interference from any outside entity, including Southern California Edison, so you don't get burned twice. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. As always, we welcome your feedback.
We asked seniors how to.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone, and should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement. Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Jaron Lanier, the founding father of the field of virtual reality. I was just thinking about all the money that's going to be spent in the next few weeks during the holiday season. Jaron buying all kinds of family and friends gifts in the VR space. Everybody loves putting these goggles on now and having all kinds of experiences. Is this what you imagined back in the 1980s, sir?
Well. That's another thing I have kind of complicated feelings about. When I see somebody enjoying VR, of course I'm happy. Like, you want to make stuff that people like, right? So that's great. I kind of feel like VR, sorry. I feel like VR hasn't it been born fully yet because all the ways you can get it now are still based on old styles of or previous styles of media. Like it's all like gaming. Yeah, sure. Creating an illusion that you're in front of a big movie screen. Sure. All that kind of stuff. Cool. But I feel like when AI really, sorry, we're talking about AI, so it's in my brain.
I get it.
When VR really comes into its own, it's when you can pick up stuff and handle it like it's real, where you can like dance with somebody else, where you're like really in there, and that's like a new thing. And they're not really doing that because the companies, like everything digital, it gets dominated by just a few companies, and those companies are kind of really timid and don't have a lot of imagination. And especially Meta has been incredibly disappointing and sort of, I don't know, just very, very unimaginative and very, really bad with the developer community. They haven't incentivized the small players out there who could really innovate. And so it's, it's okay. And I'm glad people enjoy it, but you haven't seen it yet. Like it's going to become something much better. It really is.
So here's the question. I mean, since all the energy is being placed on AI, what is the future of VR? Is it dead?
No, I think it's, VR comes in waves. Like I've been at this for a long time, and I keep on seeing these waves. Where somebody says, "Oh my God, VR is the next big thing again," and "Oh my God, VR died again," and then it comes back, and each time it comes along a little bit, and sooner or later it'll come along enough that I think people will get a sense of what it really is, which is not gaming and it's not movies. Use it is not that they're going to live in it all day like Mark Zuckerberg says. I think that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard because, like, I mean, why would you? It just really doesn't make any sense. What people will do is they'll use it for cool extreme experiences. It's like you might like going to a game, but you're not going to like move into the the football stadium 24 hours a day. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's not what happens. Like, some things in life should be special occasions, right? And VR is going to be like that. It's going to be like a special occasion, and I think we'll get there. And I think people will use it for play. Fitness is a good one, and so far there's a little bit in that department. People haven't really stuck with it because I don't think it's been done that well. Also, the goggles don't make any sense for fitness now. They're not really set up for it, for sweat and moving around and everything. But we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. And I think there'll be whole new sports that just happen inside VR. I think there'll be a lot of cool stuff. I think there'll be dance parties in VR and music in VR, all those things. And it's just going to take a while, It's not going to be overnight. It's a lot of software, and right now the companies in charge don't get it. So, we got to wait.
Nope. Jaron Lanier is the founding father of the field of virtual reality, and again, always thrilled to be in conversation with him. When we come forward in our remaining moments with him, I want to just cover one more topic, this I find fascinating. Literally from Mississippi to Maryland, Black communities in particular are fighting back against big tech. They're taking on big tech. Why are these Black communities, again, all across the country now, fighting big tech? I'll tell you why when we come forward and get Jaron's take on that. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like freedom.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Roger and Tracy saved over $18,400. Cynthia was recovering from a family tragedy and saved over $10,300. If you are drowning in debt, then call Debt Blue. Debt Blue is a professional debt negotiation firm with over 20 years of experience helping people pay back a fraction of what they owe. Learn how to cut your debt up to half or maybe more. Be debt-free in 24 to 48 months, even with bad credit. With an A+ rating from the BBB, you can rest. That's 800-200-8879. You don't have to declare bankruptcy. This program works if you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in debt. Call for your free consultation today. 800-200-8879. That's 800-200-8879.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
Less monologue,
more dialogue.
Tavis Smiley continues right now.
He does indeed for the next 4 minutes. I got a tight 4 minutes here with Jaron Lanier. The story I teased a moment ago about these black communities taking on big tech is centered around, you guessed it, these data centers. Data centers being built all on the East Coast and down south, especially in the South. And these communities are feeling put upon for a variety of reasons. It involves land grabs. There are concerns about environmental racism and other issues. But what say you about these black communities being, the sites? It feels like a data center dump on black communities, Jaron. A lot of black folk are pushing back on it.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, each case is different, and I'm not. It's hard to generalize because everything local is local, But I gotta say, more power to them, and I hope they find some success. The typical pattern you see is. Initially, in the first wave, some of the big companies that were starting data centers were like, we need to be close to power and we need to be close to someplace to get rid of the heat, like some cold river or something like that. And so a lot of them were put in like really remote places, or where there used to be a nuclear power plant or something. But then the most recent wave is like, oh, a red state politician wants it in their state so they can get something, but then they want to put it in their state in the place where there'll be the least pushback from their point of view, so it'll go into like a poorer area.
That's right.
And so we see that pattern over and over again, and that's really worth fighting. So fight it.
Yep, they are fighting it, and again, it never ceases to amaze me how black communities end up being the dumping grounds for everything, and they come in promising all these jobs and opportunities. Not so much for you. But again,
and then does it really happen at the end of the day?
Right.
That's the question,
That's right. Jaron Lanier is the founding father of the field of virtual reality. Again, best-selling author. I mentioned his books one more again. him to think, find out what he's thinking, how he's processing the world, and he never, ever disappoints. Jaron Lanier, an honor, sir, to have you on. Happy holidays. Thanks for your time once again, my friend.
Tavis, it's so great to talk to you. Always love it, really. You're doing such a great job.
No, you're the man. Thank you for your time. Good to have you on the program. That's Jaron Lanier. So we're going to pivot completely in the last hour of our program today and talk about entertainment. We're going to be joined by Ali Sholatan, best known for his breakout role as Carlton in the Peacock series Bel Air. And it's the fourth and final season of that dramatic reboot. It dropped earlier this week. We talked to Oli about that on the top side of our three. And then on the B side of our three, it's Hallmark Holiday Christmas movie season once again. And we'll talk with Heather Hemmons about her latest Hallmark Channel Christmas movie called The Snow Must Go On. The show must go on. So more of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Black U.S. Representative Lauren Underwood toured the Broadview